Irrigation Development Support Project, IDSP, is an infrastructure development project that stands to promote and commercialize smallholder farmers in the irrigation subsector by improving an environment for irrigation aimed at providing farmers with continuous supply of water. The IDSP has been effectively implemented at 3 sites in Zambia, namely Lusitu, Mwomboshi and Musakashi, aimed at boosting agricultural production.
Irrigation Development Support Project has what is known as the 3 core sites. So those were the sites that the government was going to prioritize in terms of taking irrigation infrastructure. So amongst those 3 sites, there is Musakashi, Mwomboshi and Lusitu. In brief, it's one of the 3 IDSP core sites that government prioritized to mechanize irrigation. Zambia is one of the key bread baskets of the continent. South Africa itself and other countries in the region are looking to Zambia for production of food. The rain is not very dependable. There are times when you have good rains. Sometimes you have rains that are not enough. Sometimes it's too much. And then you find that you can only produce once in a year. So how does irrigated agriculture fit into this? You are able to manage what you grow, when you grow it, and how you grow it. And so that means that issues of malnutrition, hunger, and maybe even poverty are alleviated. Why? Because a common man on the ground will be able to produce all year round. They'll be able to eat. They'll be able to sell their crop, and from the resources they are realizing, send their children to school. And the unique thing about this project, Alec, is that it's focusing mainly on small-scale farmers.
Some 11 years ago, this land used to be owned by different people or entities. But when the IDSP came, they said, we want to develop an irrigation scheme here. This will mean we'll have to redesign. That will entail that people will have to be resettled. Now, that involved a lot of things, because a lot of sensitization meetings were done, a lot of trainings were done, people were sent on tours, people were sent to Swaziland just to go and check what our colleagues there are doing, until the people agreed that yes, we can be relocated, and then this is where we are.
Musakashi is located in Mufurira Rural on the Copper Belt, approximately 242 kilometers from Zambia's capital Lusaka. Musakashi is among the 3 sites within the country that was selected for an irrigation pilot project under the IDSP, but it came with a unique background.
For Musakashi, way back in the 1990s, government decided to assist fresh graduates from schools of agriculture. So they deployed them to Musakashi with the promise that they will help them mechanize agriculture. And with time now, when an opportunity arose through the World Bank, funding irrigation development in the country, government thought, oh, we have those people out there in Musakashi, the graduates, why don't we prioritize them as part of the group that will benefit from this development? So basically the background is about graduates who had the knowledge, but they didn't have the means to develop irrigated agriculture. So that's how government now came in, took the project there to help them put up irrigation infrastructure.
Musakashi was systematically divided into tiers or grades classifying capacity levels. 1,200 hectares of the total 6,000 hectares is currently under use. Smallholder farmers in Tier 1 of the Musakashi scheme are already producing.
There is this thing known as Tiers 1, 2 and 3. Tier 1 is where we have the small-scale farmers producing on a piece of land that is between 0.25 hectares to 1 hectare. Then you have Tier 2 that goes up to 20 hectares, and Tier 3, this is commercial farming. So the farmers at the moment are producing in Tier 1. Butternuts, vegetables, different types of vegetables. There is also the Tier 3 farmer. The tier 3 farmer is producing on a much bigger hectareage. At the moment, we have the Zambia National Service who are producing using much larger irrigation equipment like a center pivot and not just the drip irrigation. That has changed, totally changed, because in addition to just producing, some people have actually found employment.
We are sitting on 6,000 hectares in total. The land that is developed is 1,200 for irrigation purposes.
In Musakashi, we are dealing with about 462 households on a 1,200 hectares piece of land. Now, with the coming in of the project, there is what I referred to as the irrigation infrastructure to start with. They have Kafue River, but then they didn't have the water very close to them. So government went in, put in pumping stations, reservoirs, and the water pipes. So in terms of landscape, if I'm to speak from the perspective of production, right now as I'm talking, they are producing in Musakashi, something that they were very limited initially to do. They were not able to produce all year round. So in terms of productivity, they are producing, so that means they are able to have resources all year round. Their livelihoods have changed. But in addition to that, there is the issue of ancillary infrastructure that was put there. There is a road network, there is electricity that was taken there, and we built 113 new housing units for the local people who were affected. So there is so much that has changed, that is changing, and that will continue to change because of the project. We
are using a 3-tier system. Okay, where we are here is the tier 1, where all the beneficiaries in Musakashi have plots for production. These plots are ranging from a hectare to a half a hectare and 0.25. The project has, of course, provided some implements, the agriculture implements. We have 2 tractors and its equipment. So for each farmer here, the project has sponsored us. We are cultivating the land, plowing and disking, so that it is ready for production. Then we are also installing the drip lines for all the farmers around here. We have started now doing the actual production. So far, we've done 30 hectares of onion. We have 8 hectares of cabbage at different stages. Then we have 4 hectares of green maize, again at different stages. Yeah, and the other crops, depending on the preference of the small-scale farmers here.
So much has developed on the sidelines of an emerging agricultural enterprise at Musakashi. This includes physical and social infrastructure and has also manifested change in improvement of people's lives.
So if you go to Musakashi right now, it's not the same place it was 10 years ago. Of course, earlier on I talked about the road infrastructure, the electricity, and the houses that were built, some of them have expanded them. So you go there, in addition to what we gave them, they've worked on it and made the houses bigger. So there is so much going on. It's a very busy place right now.
Already, what we've seen is that this is our 5th month when we started production. Already, I can see some change in our farmers. The income levels have started now, peaking. I think the farmers here every week, maybe 2 times in a week, they will go to the market to sell their crops, and when you see them coming, then you can tell that people, the life has beginning to change, because you will see people carrying cooking oil, they have some sugar and things like that.
It may be one thing to produce, to market the produce may be another. How will Musakashi manage the area of marketing in pursuit of a complete agricultural process.
So far, we have two off-takers. We have BMK Diamonds. Obviously, these, we have a contract, we are doing onion for them. We have the red market for that. So even when we are growing the onion, we know that it is, and we know even the price we are going to sell at. This is very good, and it has encouraged the farmers around here, because they will have not to, to start thinking the whole night, where are we going to sell the onion? We have the market. Then we've also signed a contract with the MKP farms of Chiwombo to do the butternut and the sweet corn. That gives us a lot of hope. We've invited the market associations around, and the people from Kasumbalesa, they will be here to come and first of all appreciate the infrastructure and interact with the farmers, so that we can start doing business with them. So I think the future, it's bright.
Agriculture is fundamentally the bloodline of our industry. It is what makes us flourish. The farmer here at Musakashi must, however, remain optimistic if this new gem of Musakashi has to grow and be sustained.
The farmers of Musakashi, first of all, are very grateful to the government. We are very grateful to Ministry of Agriculture for implementing this project to our area. If this project can be rolled out to all the provinces, I think we can make a very big difference in agriculture.
Zambia is huge. It has 10 provinces with so many districts, and they were picked as one of the 3 that are benefiting. They shouldn't take that for granted. The best that they can do for themselves, for their children and their children's children, and the country at large, is to embrace this project, apply themselves to the best of their abilities, and make this dream a reality. It's amazing, so let them continue with the hard work they are doing. It will pay off. Even fresh graduates, Musakashi is made of fresh graduates. White collar jobs are as good as they go, but a fresh graduate can go out there, use the land, and make a difference, not only for themselves but for the nation at large. The goodwill is there. You can see with the support of the World Bank, through government, people are able to put up irrigation infrastructure. The future for Musakashi is very bright. If you will meet the people who are there right now, some of them are doing skills development now because of the resources they are getting from the project. Others have ventured into different businesses like grinding mills, tailoring, because of the assistance from the project. And in addition to that, there has been training that's been going on for the people on site, because it's one thing to take them the irrigation infrastructure and another thing for them to use it correctly.
The Musakashi project scheme is now firmly on the ground, and there is no turning back for the farmers of this community. It is now up to this budding community of farmers to dig into the ground to unleash a new era of agricultural production.